Hi, everyone. I want to welcome you back to a Great Fish Bible study. This is just a little thing we do twice a week. Me and my wife, we sit down, open a Bible, and just kind of talk about the Word. And I want to thank you for coming back. And you might notice today, I'm not here with my wife. Okay, Kelly's feeling a little bit under the weather today. So it's just going to be me. Just keep her in your prayers and be with me as I bring this to you by myself today, okay? So today I wanted to look at 1 Corinthians 12. Okay, 1 Corinthians 12. I'm going to begin by reading just the first four verses. Let's see, I'm going to read the first, the first 7 verses or so, okay? So beginning in verse 1, Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I do not want you to be unaware. You know that when you were pagans, you were led astray to the mute idols, however you were led. Therefore, I make known to you that no one speaking by the Spirit of God says Jesus is accursed, and no one can say Jesus is Lord except by the Holy Spirit. Now, there are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit, and there are varieties of ministries, and the same Lord, and there are varieties of effects, but the same God who works all things in all persons. But to each one is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. So, Paul is saying basically that everybody has a spiritual gift, okay? And it says that to all persons, God gives this manifestation of the Spirit for the common good of the whole, okay? And this is the whole church. So everybody in the church, you're not just a member, you're an active member, you're a participant, okay? And you have a gift that you should use. And the chapter goes on to list several different types of gifts, and I'm not going to go into all the different types of gifts, but I want to pick it up in verse 12 here and read a little bit further, okay? It says, For even as the body is one, yet has many members, and all the members of the body, though there are many, are one body, so also is Christ. For by one Spirit we were all baptized into one body, whether Jews or Greeks, whether slaves or free, and we were all made to drink of one Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot says, Because I am not the hand, I'm not part of the body, is it not for this reason any less part of the body? And if the ear says, Because I'm not the eye, I'm not part of the body, it is not for this reason any the less a part of the body. Okay, so Paul's given an analogy that each member of the church is like one member of the body. Okay, so a body is made up of all these different parts, and every part has a role to play, right? And he's using an example of like the ear. You know, the ear is part of the body, and the eye is part of the body. You know, just because the ear is not the eye, it doesn't matter. They both have a role to play, right? And that's how it is for Christians. You know, we all have a gift, and we all have to be contributing to the body as a whole, and we have to work together to do that. And so it's really for this reason that we have to be careful and think about our gift and think about our contribution and understand that if we don't contribute, then the body's not working all together. You know, it's like not every member's the eye, but if there weren't if the only part of the body was the eye, then how's it going to walk around? How's it going to eat? How's it going to hear? You know, you have to have all parts of the body working, and so we all have our own role to play. And I know that one of the gifts, for example, is teaching. And just to give you a little testimony about myself, there was one of the first churches I attended, many years ago after I was married. I had gone there. We had a Sunday school class. And one day the teacher asked me if I would mind filling in for him one day when he was going to be out of town and teach the class. And I said, sure, yeah, I'll do that. And we did this. It pretty much became a routine. Every time he had to go out for some reason, he asked me to teach. And that was fine. I didn't mind doing that. Well, this went on for a while, and he said, we like your lessons. We'd like you to maybe teach once a month, regardless of whether he's there or not. He just wanted me to have this lesson once a month, and he goes, and you can teach on anything you wanted. So we did that for a while. And then later, the man who taught our class was called to another ministry, and that sort of left a void in our class. And they said, "Well, Robert, are you going to teach a class?" And I said, "No, I'm not going to teach the class. I don't feel God called me to teach." So I'm not sure why I said that. I just didn't know if I wanted to take on the responsibility of teaching. Well, eventually we left that church too and went to another church, and a very similar thing happened. First, I was asked to help help out teaching in the absence of the regular teacher, and then later the pastor asked me to have a class. Well, it just so happened it was just unfortunate timing that we were getting ready to move, and I said, "Look, I'm going to be leaving the church anyway, and we're moving back to Louisville," so I wasn't able to teach then. And then started attending another church, and sure enough, the same thing started happening. I was asked to start teaching. And it occurred to me then, I thought, how many times am I going to be asked to teach and say no? Maybe God is calling me to be a teacher. So I shouldn't continue saying no. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to say, "Okay, God, if this is what you want me to do, this is what I'm going to do." And I ended up teaching there, and I'm in the church I'm at now. I was there a very short while, and I was asked to teach there. So I thought, maybe God has given me that gift, and whether or not I feel like He said it to me audibly, the very fact that He's putting me in this position is sort of lets me know that maybe this is what He wants me to do. So I've decided, look, anytime I'm asked to teach, I'm going to teach. Okay, and it's not because I'm a great teacher. It's not because I know the Bible better than anybody else or anything like that. It's simply because, look, this is what God called me to do. So I have to do my role. I have to do my part. And the thing is, everybody has a part to play. Everybody has a part to play. And no one part is more important than the other part. Peter one time was talking about the Greek widows, and they were saying, look, the Jewish widows, they get taken care of, but the Greek widows don't get taken care of. Okay, and he said, you're right. We need to get these people taken care of. So he appointed some men from the church, and he said, "This is going to be your responsibility to take care of the widows." And this is how they came up with the role of a deacon. But Peter said something very interesting. He said, it's not profitable that I should leave preaching the word to wait on tables. Okay? It's not that waiting on tables wasn't important, but that wasn't Peter's job. That wasn't what Peter did. Peter had a calling to preach. And he said, look, I can't go out and preach if I'm waiting on tables. So he came up with the deacons, and the deacons would help to take care of and minister to the widows. And by him doing that, by the deacons doing that, Peter was able to preach. Okay? And that's how it all works together. Okay? By waiting on by the deacons helping to serve the widows, Peter was able to preach. So the word was getting spread because they were doing this over here. And that's how it is in any church. Every church has a lot of responsibilities to do. Besides teaching a Sunday school class. Okay? What if I said, well, the preacher should be teaching a Sunday school class? Okay. Well, what about knocking on doors in the neighborhood? Well, the preacher should be doing that. Okay. Well, who's going to cut the grass at the church? Okay. Who's going to sit in the nursery and watch the kids while the service is going on? Who's going to have the children's church? There's a lot of different things that can be done. Who's going to sing in the choir? Who's going to do all these different things? You can't just say one person's going to do it all, because he can't do it all. And by us stepping up to do our part of the ministry, it's helping the ministry of the whole, So even if you're cutting the grass at the church, you're helping the word to get spread. Believe it or not, it's that important. Even if you can, vacuum the carpet or pick up in the lobby or greet somebody at the door or work in the Sunday school or work in the nursery or work in the children's church or sing in the choir, okay? Or knock on doors or stuff envelopes or answer the phone. I mean, anything that you can do to help the church is going to help the word to get spread, okay? So it is important. Every job is important. Every part of the church is important. And so you have a gift to contribute. You have a way to contribute. You have a part that you can play. You have a gift that God has given you. Everybody has a different gift, but are you using your gift? Are you using your gift? Because if you're not, then the whole body, the whole church suffers because of it. So, it's like the little toe. If you think of the little toe, you think, well, it's just a little toe. It's not that important. But it's like when you stub your toe, what happens? The whole body has to go to minister to the toe, right? You sit down, you grab your hand, you look at it, you see, is my toe broken? That's how it is. If somebody's not doing their part, no matter how small the part might seem, the whole body suffers because of it. So it's important for everybody to contribute their gifts, and the fact of the matter is we're going to be held accountable one day. We're going to have to stand before Jesus, just like in the parable of the talents. When the master returned, he called his servants together and he made them give an account for the talents that he had left with them. And we're going to do that too. We're going to stand before the bema seat of Christ, and we're going to have to give an account for what we did with our gifts. And this, I didn't think it was that important. It's not going to be an excuse at that time. It's a responsibility, and we need to be taking it seriously. And my gift or my responsibility or my role might be teaching. Okay, but you have a role too. You have a gift too, and you need to take stock. What is your gift? Where can you minister? What can you do to help? And then you need to be serious about doing it. Okay, so be thinking about that. Look at read 1 Corinthians 12 for yourself. Look at all the different gifts they have, and then decide, is there something there I could do? Is there anything I could do? Okay, and then just do it. So I appreciate you stopping by. And again, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please share this on your social media. Click like on it for me. Hit the notification bell. If you're subscribed and you're not seeing when we upload these, maybe you have to click that notification bell, and you'll just get the notification whenever we upload the new videos. So be praying for Kelly too. She'll hopefully be back with us next time. And I appreciate you stopping by, okay? You all have a great night. Thanks.